I know you're Lowly Elf Bryony from the gift wrap battalion. She has a certain Galloways and Dumfries kind of accent in there, maybe a little bit of helium mixed into it.
Yes, it's funny that, isn't it? Which sounds a little bit like me. When I'm a little bit like that, yes.
Was that a case of they just said, you know, you go for what you like, or did they sort of say, well, we want the Scottish thing to...
Well, pretty much. I mean, I think the last few jobs I've done, people just go, use your own accent. It's funny enough. I mean, it's like even when I did Ugly Betty, that was meant to be an American character, and they were like, yeah, but doing your own accent, you see, that's funny. That's funnier.
I know you're one of the world's greatest method actors, so when Bryony says you can do 204,000, wrap 204,000 presents in 3 days, how close did you get now just to get into character?
I think I could do that. I do take great pride in wrapping, though, it has to be said. I do enjoy wrapping presents, so I think I brought that side of my personality to Bryony.
It is a sweet cast. Besides Jane McAvoy and Bill Nighy, people like Michael Palin in there, Hugh Laurie. I don't know whether there was times that you did get to react and interact, because often animation you're sort of recording your voice alone, or I don't know if
totally alone, in a little box, in a little room, on your own, going a little bit mad in a room, yeah. Which is one of the weird things about animated films, that you don't actually meet anybody often until the junket or until the premiere, which is kind of strange.
Well, I know you've done festive movies before. You did Nativity in 2009, and my condolences on that. But you also did some animation. You did How to Train Your Dragon, and you also did Romeo and Juliet. So I'm guessing now at this stage, it might, I don't know whether it feels particularly easier, whether there's always that sort of niggling kind of sense of this is a challenge to get this right, because I'm on my own, I'm in a booth, I have to come up with all the emotion.
Well, I kind of quite like it. You just sort of have to sort of get on with it and use your imagination, really, which a lot of actors are very good at, using their imaginations. And as I've said to somebody else earlier on today, it's like you sort of channel your inner child, and it's like being in your bedroom as a 10-year-old doing silly voices in front of the mirror. Did you not do that? No?
Never, no.
Really? Oh.
I'm thinking too, with Aardman Animation, a lot of people will know them from Wallace and Gromit and even Morph and Creature Comforts and Shaun the Sheep. Were you at all surprised when they said it was going to be pixels rather than plasticine?
No, because I think that, I mean, Aardman is such a wonderful kind of British legendary animated film company that they're moving with the times, and this is where we are now. We're in 3D, and I think it's great that they've done that, and it looks amazing. The absolute depth of the animation is just so beautiful, because when we started on it, they showed you an image of the character, but when you start working on it and go in, you're sort of seeing like little black and white pencil drawings, and you're kind of like flat images. And then the next time you go in, they've moved them together, and then the next time you go in, they've added a little bit of colour, and it's a bit two-dimensional. And so that by the last time you go in, it sort of looks like this beautiful, rich, full of depth, lovely animation behind you.
It is, of course, like many children's movies now, very fast-paced. There's a sense here that I think Wallace and Gromit would probably get a little bit dizzy, especially those initial scenes.
I think they would, yes, yeah. It's like James Bond, that first scene, isn't it? With like the music and all the action and...
Like an Apple store gone crazy.
Just a wee bit, yeah.
But there is that notion, I think, for kids today, there's something like Snow White, it'd be like a Brian Eno art installation. The tempo of movies has increased so much over the years. I guess the video game, generation would need that sort of quick fire slapstick that they can...
Yeah, I think that's the world that we live in now, isn't it? And there's kind of no point in sort of hiding children from that, really, and making them play with wooden toys, because we do have television, and that's the way the world is going.
I was looking over your career, and you like a lot of actors from these isles, you did all the usual things like EastEnders and The Bill and so forth, and
The Apprenticeship.
Hey,
yes.
And it was really when playing Maggie Jacobs in the extras that life sort of, I'm guessing life changed, or did you know at the time that this was a life changer? Because
I didn't actually, and a couple of people had said this is going to really change your life and change your career, and I don't think it quite hit me, and I was like, oh right, really, and it has. I mean, I would not have been in America, I don't think, if I hadn't got that job. I call it my Willy Wonka golden ticket, because so many actors go out and do pilot season and go back again, and it is quite tough. And I think that I went with this show that America just embraced, and I think that was what got me into Ugly Betty. That was why I got the job, I think, really.
Well, I was just thinking that we got to wrap up. Right, sorry, I got to wrap up. Time's up. Nice to talk.